Hey there, guys. Welcome to the channel. So we can all rest easy. The stars have realigned, and Whoopi Goldberg is back on The View, which truthfully, I'm going to be honest with you, I do. I love to watch, man. I love to watch. I like to see just how insane people really can be. And you guys have got to see this. Make sure you watch to the end. You've got to see what the bubble has done to these poor women and how detached from reality they really are. And the reasons that they give for Joe Biden's tanking numbers, they're insane. But before we get into all that, guys, thanks to everybody who's been subscribing and leaving such great comments. Really, really appreciate the support. We're building an awesome community together. If you haven't already, help us with the algorithm, man. Like, comment, subscribe. Most importantly, share the channel. Let's get into it.
So what do they need to focus on? They need to focus on the undeniable. Joe Biden is old, and that's a narrative that's been created to cause panic in people.
All right. Sorry I stopped it so early, but come on, guys. What can the people sitting at home or the poor captive people in that audience really think of this? We didn't invent the narrative that the guy is old. The mother effer is a dinosaur. A reporter asked him a question about geopolitics in Vietnam, and his answer was about his bedtime and going to sleep. I mean, this is not narrative. These are facts of life.
And then, so what's the second part of that narrative? Joe Biden is old, and Kamala Harris is unprepared.
Wow, man. So how do they not actually hear the things that are coming out of their mouth? Another one we did not invent. I mean, look, you guys control the media. You guys control the narrative. People don't think Kamala is unprepared because of some insane right-wing mind trick. They think it because she hasn't accomplished a single task. They think it because she cannot communicate with other adults.
Now, go on with the rest of that, because there's another part to that.
Yeah, okay, Joe Biden is old, but he ain't dying anytime soon.
How could you possibly know that? I wouldn't even talk about that. It's super, super bad karma. And I guess, that if anyone on the planet, I would think that if anyone on the planet is a true jinx, they're sitting somewhere at that table.
I don't know if you guys saw him this weekend. He was at the G20. One moment I turned on the TV, he was in India. Then I turned on the TV, he was in Vietnam. Then I turned on the TV, he was giving a press conference.
Remember, man, this insane woman who is literally impressed that Biden has mastered the art of air travel. She's one of the fake Republicans on this show. She is a fake conservative. She was hired to basically say the exact opposite of all the crazy stuff she's saying now. But she's forgotten to remind her poor, neglected audience that the poor old man, our poor old president, he embarrassed himself at literally every single stop of that trip that is so impressive to her. But let me know in the comments, is it crazy in the tank Republican buried deep within my soul that has led me to believe that Joe Biden belongs in a nursing home and not the White House? Or is that just a fact? Am I the only one that sees this?
You know what kind of is still strange to me? Why is Kamala so dangerous?
What does she mean by dangerous? Of all the knocks on her, it's not that. I've never heard anyone say she was dangerous, unless she's just drawn her own logical conclusions. When we say that she's unprepared, unintelligent, untalented, she hears us saying dangerous because she's absolutely correct. It would truly be dangerous to have a person with this track record with their fingers anywhere near a big red button.
Right?
Why do you think she's so dangerous?
I don't know, Whoopi. That's kind of offensive to me. And the other thing is, she's unprepared.
Why, Sonny? Why does this offend you? I'm going to go way out on a limb and guess that it has got something to do with race.
Kamala Harris, by the way, was the first woman elected DA of San Francisco, the first woman to be Attorney General of California. She's the first female vice president. She's been on the job doing a damn good job.
Guys, can someone please tell me what they mean when they say she's doing a good job? And man, honestly, her resume, that is incredibly impressive. It made even more impressive that she somehow accomplished all of that, all of those things without anyone ever hearing her try to answer a question or hear her laugh. I'm sure that we weren't the only surprised people when she turned out to be a total idiot when she got to Washington.
And I am so tired of people questioning her qualifications. The woman is ready to lead if she needs to lead.
I hear you, Sonny. You're obviously quite passionate about convincing your fellow mushy-brained victims of propaganda that Kamala is the truth and is the future. But I think we should probably hear it from the vice president herself.
I think
it's very important, as you have heard from so many incredible leaders, for us at every moment in time, and certainly this one, to see the moment in time in which we exist and are present, and to be able to contextualize it, to understand where we exist in the history and in the moment as it relates not only to the past, but the future.
So, Sonny, what she actually just said there is that the people you should be upset with about her and the way she turned out are within your own party. It's you guys. You're the ones with the buyer's remorse. It's you guys terrified about what you have done to us. We're just the ones who tried to tell you.
But I don't think Joe Biden's going anywhere because I see him on his bike in Delaware.
I'm actually starting to think this is some kind of comedy bit. This has got to be a parody. The bike, are you actually bringing up the bike?
Mr. President, Dr. Biden, how was the anniversary?
Sonny, this may not actually inspire the confidence that you're hoping for, but guys, honestly, isn't it amazing that that's where the bar is now? They're like, come on, guys, the guy can ride an airplane, the guy can pedal a bike. 4 more years, come on, he's earned it. No.
That was the only thing that I kind of took it as. Don't even acknowledge from the Democrats' perspective that there is a chance she might have to step in, because it kind of gives fuel to this narrative that allegedly 73% of Americans feel that he's too old.
So hold on. How can the panel believe that Biden being old is just some narrative peddled by gaslighting Republicans? But now Alyssa tells that there's polling that suggests that 73% of the nation is on that same page. No one bats an eye. No one questions it. They don't even look like they heard something funny. Do they think that there's 73% of the country that are just gaslighting crazy right-wingers? How can they possibly be so out of touch?
But bigger picture here, 2024 is giving me 2016 vibes all over again, whether it's the massive Republican field that's actually just making the way for Donald Trump to be the nominee. But then also, I get he's an incumbent, but the sort of coronation of Joe Biden reminds me of Hillary Clinton.
So let me get this straight. The feel of the nation reminds you of the election in 2016, and Biden reminds you of Hillary, who was literally the worst presidential candidate in history. One of the most unlikable people in history, period. I got news for you. Joe Biden, as unlikable as she is and as untalented as she probably would have been as president, Joe Biden is no Hillary Clinton.
Primaries are meant to create the best general election candidate. I actually think if he was kind of being challenged in a primary, he'd come up with the best way to answer about Hunter Biden, the Afghanistan withdrawal. You've passed all these bills, but why do people not feel like the economy's better? And I worry that we are careening into the matchup that nobody wants again, Donald Trump versus Joe Biden, and that there's a very legitimate chance that he could lose to Donald Trump.
Duh. I mean, our chances may be better than I thought. I mean, even the most out-of-touch people on the planet, they apparently agree that Joe is toast.
Every time we're up against a Republican, it's like, oh, your approval rating is down. You know what will tell what your approval rating is when you win. Like what happened with Biden. Biden won. Everybody was like, oh.
I'm a little confused by that. Is Whoopi saying that she was shocked that Biden won? Or was she basically dunking on those of us that were confused, that we were surprised about it? I don't know. In our defense, guys, we were confused because the man never left his basement. He had literally zero excitement. Nobody was excited about him. This is also, of course, what has continued to fuel so many reasonable doubts in the election. I mean, more votes than Obama for that guy. I'm not saying it didn't happen, but I'm saying it's still real hard to imagine.
I think part of the reason that those numbers are what they are is because for the last 3 years, Republicans, every chance they get, have been doing, montages and things of Joe Biden with his eyes closed and,
So wait a minute. So he's not doing a terrible job? He didn't really just get his mic cut off in Vietnam for answering a serious question by talking about going night-night, talking about his bedtime? Or just imagining this. People only think he's old because Republicans are reminding the poor folks that were tricked into voting for him that they literally wouldn't even put their own family members through this sort of treatment. Okay, I'm starting to get it.
spreading this narrative that Joe Biden is too old, that it's Sleepy Joe, that it's that and that. And, you know, all these montages of Kamala Harris laughing. My God, they pick at her laugh.
He is sleepy. And that is a terrible cackle. I mean, I'm sorry, man. You picked this pair. We tried to tell you, you know, we're the leader of the free freaking world, and this is what we chose. I mean, come on. They're an embarrassment, and so are we. We are a country of 81 million embarrassments, allegedly. And here's a question. You know, do you dislike all political montage, or the ones with footage of Donald Trump and Jan 6 riders? Are those still cool? I'm pretty sure those are still cool with you guys, right?
Because I guess
Or dancing.
on that side, nobody laughs. But so funny because they elected a joke for president.
Well, sadly, we did elect a joke for president. You know, it's actually a shame that Saturday Night Live stopped doing actual comedy, because Joe is setting them up, man. He's pumping them full of all kinds of great material that they're ignoring. But anyway, that was tough to watch, guys, but I figured you'd want to welcome back our pal WHOOPI with me. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and please don't forget, like, comment, subscribe. Most importantly, share the channel. We'll see you in the next one.